Right, Jeff, we're going to talk about personal guarantees, and I'm sure you are aware that the only remedy that is offered to a married couple who are facing a personal guarantee is to get a divorce. Imagine that a personal guarantee actually promotes that rift between a couple.
Vanessa's solicitor suggested that she divorced me. Brad and I started DIY law so people could do it themselves. And I think it's better off doing it yourself, in my opinion, than going to legal people to represent you. I've had some brilliant legal people help me in my case, and they've spent hours and hours advising me. But it has always been my case, which I took into court, which I was personally responsible for.
Legal advisors led me down the garden path and just then played a game between themselves. I think with a personal guarantee as a spouse, you're a meal ticket. I employed small town solicitors who had no idea what they were doing. I wasted a lot of money, and I ended up with two opposing sides fighting over who was going to take the proceeds from my house.
Vanessa actually had separate representation because supposedly she needed to. And wait for this, she had a solicitor representing her, and basically his advice was let Lloyds grab the house. And he took it to his senior partner, and his advice was, don't let Lloyds grab the house. Do a deal with them. Now, I distinctly remember when Vanessa was on the verge of losing her home, these two guys arguing in front of Vanessa what the best way forward was. And I sat there and thought, one's on £600 an hour, the other's on £400 an hour, and they're advising her they don't know what to do about her home, and it's costing her £1,000 to be made ill.
I had exactly the same experience. Exactly the same. Yeah. They're just spending the money chatting about who's going to have first dibs on your home, and you've gone to them to try and save your home.
So basically, I have never, as I said, had a solicitor take my case or a barrister take my case into court. In fact, when they did something wrong, and they were misled, I stood up after the hearing and said to the judge, you got it wrong. And he says, well, I expected you to say that. And being me, I teased him a bit and said, no, you did get it wrong. And he said, how? And he accepted that he misread a piece of paper, which the solicitors for the bank had to change on his instructions. And I think that was 6 years ago. And they still haven't got it changed. The bank knew what to do. They knew how to put a false piece of paper in. And it's that sort of game that they can play that we don't even begin to understand. And how many years of aggravation did it take you? And how many years of aggravation did it take me? And how much money did it take you? And how much money has it taken me and Vanessa to just learn? Try and do it yourself. I have a friend of mine who spent a fortune on this, and he's just about to sue one of his legal professionals for giving him bad advice, one of the previous ones.
I encountered that too.
Game.
I had a solicitor that said that I had been given bad advice and could I sue the other solicitor, and you're going down a rabbit hole. It's useless. And besides which, even when I had a solicitor working for me, I had to go through all the documents because I knew more than they did. So
yes, you normally do. And it's just a question of having the guts to stand up in front of the judge, always tell the truth, always make it as clear as you possibly can, and you've got the best chance rather than using legal people. That's not to say they're all je ne sais quoi. I've had some brilliant advice, but there is a sort of thing out there when anybody has lost almost everything, arguably a fair game to lose a bit more.
Yes.